And we're back on the Perks Recap Podcast. Hopefully, you joined us for week 3 review. Now it's time to preview week 4. We do it every single week and we hold ourselves accountable. Al, are you ready to do some picking for week 4, some predictions?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All right. You're going to take the hosting duties as usual?
All right, let's do it, man. And we're starting off with your guys on Thursday night. Like we said on the previous podcast, this is a little bit of a different pick, maybe than it would, or at least a different view on this game than it was even just last week. But yeah, Cowboys at Giants Thursday night. You go.
All right. Well, I got to tell you something. I came close to picking the Giants, and I came very close to picking them as my upset pick. But I'm going to go Dallas 23-17, but I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about this team at all, and I would not be shocked. And as I said last podcast, I'm not going to be shocked by anybody beating anybody anymore. So I would not be shocked if the Giants pull this one off, especially at home. But I got to go with them for now. If Dallas loses this game, then it's a reassess time, and now we've really got to start really thinking of what they might end up being by the end of the year, which might be drastically different than what we thought. So they need this game. They got to win this game. So I'm going 23-17 Cowboys. I do like the fight that they showed last week, and I do like the fact that they're all angry about it. So hopefully they'll take that out on the Giants, and hopefully Daniel Jones returns to his pick six ways. Okay. I said all I said was pick Dallas, 23-17,
Okay.
and I was just saying that was really happy about the way they fought back last week and the fact that they're very angry. So I'm hoping they can take that out on the Giants and Daniel Jones returns to his pick six ways.
Yes, right on, right on. Okay. So, yes, there's a lot of tough games to pick this week, and this somehow has become one of them. Although you would have been able to convince me of that 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
But here we are. I still cannot believe, even on the road, that the Cowboys aren't a significantly better team than the Giants. So I'm going to pick it. We'll see if I'm right. But I'm going Cowboys a little bigger than you. Close to your score, though, 27-17.
Okay. Was there any thought of picking the Giants as your upset?
Yeah, actually, they were my second choice for my upset.
Yeah, they're right up there for me too. I almost picked them as my upset, but I did not. But let's move on.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and hey, one other thing I want to say about that game, I almost forgot, is
Sure.
the reason I'm picking the Cowboys, other than just I can't believe what's in front of my face, is this matchup. While Devin Singletary is a nice little running back, and he's doing better than maybe some people would have thought coming into this season as the bell cow for them. He's not the kind of guy that that I think is going to make the Cowboys absolutely pay for their worst defensive trait. So that helps the boys a lot this week. And if they're going to have Daniel Jones throw the ball 30 times, I think it gets a little dicey. Yeah, Micah Parsons in his face all day. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That's why I'm going boys as much as anything.
Yeah. You know who Dallas needs back? What's his face? The guy from last year.
The defensive.
The cornerback.
Oh,
The guy. The guy.
Gilmore.
No,
No,
not Gilmore.
which one? Oh, the guy that's
The
hurt.
other. The guy that's hurt, and he had. Remember, he returned all the pick sixes. He set the record for the most pick sixes.
Totally. Yep.
I don't remember. I can't think of his name.
I'll find it.
Oh my God! When you say it, I'm gonna hit myself in the head. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I can see his face. I know him so well.
I can see him running down the field for his third pick six or whatever it was.
He had like
Here we
7
go.
or something.
Deron Bland.
Thank you. They get Bland back with Diggs. That's going to be a big help.
No, that's huge. I mean, that changes everything for them. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a big deal. Okay. Anything else on that game before we move on?
I'm ready to move on.
Okay. Well, here we go. Bengals at Panthers in a Red Rocket revenge game.
Yeah. Um, I can't pick them. I almost did, and I almost picked them as my upset, but I didn't again. And Cincinnati finally looked like they had a pulse last week. And if they're going to get going, the part of the schedule where they always struggle the beginning of every season is about over now. Now it's time to get down to brass tacks and business. And if this is your MO, then that means you win this game. So I'm going to go 30-20 Cincinnati over Carolina in another game I don't feel good about.
Okay. Well, I agree with everything you said. I am also picking the Bengals, but this is my upset pick. I'm picking the Bengals 24-19. I can't. They're the hardest team to wrap your head around in the first 4 weeks of any NFL season since Burrow's been the quarterback, and it's just weird how they can be so good and so bad at times. And with that consistent of a pattern, the early season pattern, it's weird. But and then the Panthers, who knows? They, I mean, the Red Rocket, comes in and they look like a Super Bowl contender, which I don't think they are, of course. But I mean, certainly looked a lot better than anything with Young playing quarterback. So I'm going to take a flyer on it as my upset.
Okay. What was the score you picked for Cincinnati to win, though?
24-19.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
And they're on the road. So
Right
all
there
right.
with you, my man. Okay, so now one of the tougher games for me to pick this week, and one of the probably better games of the week is Saints at Falcons. Certainly one of the more intriguing ones for me.
I mean, what do you do with this? There's no right answer here. There's the spread is super close. There's nothing that can indicate who's going to win this game because you absolutely have no idea what you're going to get.
100%, which is indicated, by the way. I wrote this point spread down because it really tells you that Vegas doesn't have a clue either. The old thing of home team gets 3 points, and typically in a game like this, you'd see the Falcons favored by 3. That's like a standard NFL line when they're not really sure, right?
Yeah, it's only 1.5.
1.5, which what the hell that means, I don't know. So
They think the Saints are a better team, but they think they're just giving the Falcons the win because they're at home.
and also a lot of these betting lines have nothing to do with whether the team's good or not. It's just how the public perceives them. So that's why
Right.
the Cowboys always get an extra point in their spreads because they get more bet on than any other team. So it's an interesting thing. I don't know what to make of that. I really
I
don't.
don't want it to make. There's like 7 games this week that are like this that I have no idea what I can go either way, and there's no way I'm going to feel good about it. This is the third straight game that I don't feel good about. I'm taking Atlanta purely because they're at home.
Yeah, and that's great. Did you say a score already?
I did not score 24-21.
Okay, well we're remarkably on the same page. Different score, but same margin. I'm going Falcons 27-24, and again for the same reason you are, because they're at home.
Yep. If the Saints were at home, I think for sure I'm going the Saints.
100% with you. 100% with you, and it's just that it's that tight in with those two teams. I don't know what to make of it, and there are some up and down moments, so it's hard to read. All right. Well, I feel like I have a little better read on this next game at least. Let's talk about Jags at Texans.
31-13, Texans got to come back and make that statement. The Jags, we mentioned last pod how just terrible they're playing. They look awful. They look like one of the worst teams in the league. Houston's at home, coming off a loss that they have got to be angry about, and I think they're just going to take it out. And it's going to be 31-13, but it might be more like 31-6 with like a gimme last second touchdown in the fourth quarter. When the game's already decided to make it 13.
I could totally see that. I'm with you on everything you said. Now this will be the Jags will now win this game 38-12 or something. You know what I mean?
Right, because that makes sense.
But I mean, everything points to the Texans here. They're clearly a better team through 3 games. They're coming off that tough road loss. They're going to be mad, the whole thing. And I picked an eerily similar score, 30-13.
We don't do this beforehand, guys. Just so you know, we
Never,
don't discuss any of our scores or our picks beforehand.
never, not once. That's awesome. All right. Now, this game got a little more interesting after last week. Broncos at Jets.
It did a little bit. I mean, obviously Denver coming off the big win. I don't think they're going to be able. Now, I think the Jets' defense is now starting to feel itself a little bit and feeling good about itself. And I don't think their defense is going to be. Their offense is going to be able to contain the Jets' defense swarming them. I think the Jets will be able to move the ball. I got a 23-10, kind of like last week in terms of just a nice, tidy win. Get your points, give up very few, and just get out of town. And that's kind of what I think. 23-10, Jets, they're at home as well. I can't see picking Denver on the road against the Jets. There's just no way.
Yeah, man. No, I can't either. I can't either. Um, yeah, the Jets are
I,
coming into their own, and they're starting to look like the Jets we thought we might see last year. It's cool to see. The Broncos coming off that mysterious win in Tampa. I can't fathom what happened, but I can't see it happening twice in a row. and
right.
I'm going Jets 27-19.
27-19. Okay, so the last two I feel pretty good about. The
Yes,
first three I felt terrible about. I don't feel good about any of them.
right there with you. Right there with you. All right, well, here's another one that's real interesting, especially the way the first 3 weeks have gone. Maybe game of the week, honestly. Vikings at Packers.
Ugh. I don't know.
That's awesome.
This is another one. I have no idea.
Yep, tough one, man. Tough one.
I was inclined to pick Green Bay because they're home, but I figured, you know what? I'm going to be screw it. I'm going to stay on Minnesota. They're undefeated. 28-27, 1 point win for Minnesota.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's a trip, dude, because I am picking the Packers 28-27.
Are you kidding?
No joke. Written in pen prior to the podcast.
That's insane.
Oh man, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. And
28-27. Wow.
and honestly, I will feel better about this. This is going to sound weird, I think, but I will feel better about this game if Malik Willis plays, because I think Love is going to be a little rusty and a little still sore coming back. His first week back
Well,
might be a
he's
little rough.
he's wearing a yeah. They're saying he's going to wear a brace and his mobility is going to be limited. That's part of the reason why I picked Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean it's a legit thing, So there might be something to that. Maybe I should have leaned a little more into that, but I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, if you win this, this will be 2 weeks in a row where Green Bay screws me
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the
Anyway,
game that
anyway.
we disagreed with last week was Green Bay as well.
That's right. That's right. We have a whole Green Bay disagreement developing.
Right, and you keep picking them, and I keep getting it wrong.
The frozen tundra disagreement of 2024.
All right,
Let's see.
yeah. So we'll see.
Okay, my man. All right. Now, another really interesting game. Might not be very aesthetically pleasing to watch, but I am sure into it, and that is the Steelers at the Colts.
Yeah, real quick too. That Green Bay Minnesota pick. That's another pick I don't feel good about.
That's a tough one. I mean,
Go ahead.
that's a coin flip, and I'm with you.
All right. Well, I'm going purely on the defense of Pittsburgh to pull them through here. Indianapolis looked better, but Anthony Richardson is still a problem. Um, Fields is he's no Steve Young or whatever you want to say for a quarterback, but he's better than Richardson is right now. At
I
least
agree.
Richardson looks terrible. I'm going with the team that has the better quarterback and the better defense. I think that's a tough combination to beat, even on the road. I'm going to go Pittsburgh 17, Colts 12, in another Pittsburgh defensive struggle, ugly ass game.
That's perfect.
Because that's all they play. That's all they play is ugly games.
That is perfect. I love it. You took the words right out of my mouth. You nailed it 100%. I agree with everything you said. Um, The only other factor I'll throw in there is with that Steelers D, it's going to be really tough to get Jonathan Taylor going, and when the Colts can't get Jonathan Taylor going, their odds go way down. So, and also, not that they're going to be available in your fantasy league, but boy, it would be nice if you could trot the Steelers out this week with Richardson's mistake-prone ways his first 3 weeks. It looks like a ripe one for a 20-point fantasy outing from your defense.
Yep.
So, with all that in mind, I'm taking the Steelers on the road too. Steelers 20-13.
Yep. I feel pretty good about that one too.
I do too. I do too. Although, it's a 1.5-point favorite in Vegas for the Steelers, so in their mind, it's almost a coin flip. So maybe we're crazy for feeling good about it, right?
I have it, but I'm looking at it as a 2-point favorite. But either way,
Okay, yeah, and I get mine real early, so I get mine like as I'm watching the Monday night game. So I'm sure it's shifted.
yeah.
Yours is more accurate. Okay, now here we go. This is another one I don't feel great about. Rams at Bears.
Ugh. This is another one that sucks. Bears favored by 3 because they're at home. That's it. That's it. So they're saying themselves this is an even game.
Yep.
Uh, the Rams are all beat up. Chicago is maybe unleashing Caleb Williams. Um, but I'm going Rams because my opinion of them has definitely shaken from what they've given us the first 3 weeks. But that win last week shows that what we thought they could be is still there to some degree. Even though they're on the road, I'm going Rams, but it's another 1-point win. 27-26. Don't ask me how Chicago gets to 26. But 27-26, Rams with the win. And total coin flip. Would not be surprised if this game goes either way. Absolutely. It's another one I don't feel good about at all.
Whew. Right there with you, my man. Right there with you. I agree with everything you said. We were both on the Rams early. It's been very much shaken with injuries and performance. Although coming off of last week now, it's like, whoa, maybe I'm back on the train. I don't know. The Bears seem to be edging towards something happening, but it hasn't happened yet. I'm taking the same side as you. I'm going Rams 20-17.
All right. Yeah. It's going to be very interesting. These are tough games. They're all tough.
Tough. And here comes another one, buddy. The last of the 1 o'clockers, my Birds, Eagles at Tampa. And what the hell do we make of this game after what happened to Tampa last week?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know what to think of Tampa. I don't know what to think of, you know, I don't know what to think of New Orleans. I don't know what to think of
Atlanta.
Cincinnati and Atlanta and the Rams and Green Bay and Minnesota. I don't know. I'm going with what I hope happens really more than anything, and I just hope Tampa Bay gets it right and gets a win. So I'm going Tampa because they're at home, 31-27.
Right
But
on.
again, I don't feel good about it at all.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one to figure this one. What do you have on that for a line? Because it was 2.5 as of midnight last night for the Eagles.
2.5 still.
Okay. Um, yeah, man. This is such a tough one. I'm just going off who was playing better last week and hoping it carries forward. I'm going to take the
Yep.
Eagles, but I'm going to take it in a close one because I don't have a freaking clue. 27-24.
Yep. I mean, there's so many of these games where the team that I don't pick wins, and I'm not surprised one bit.
Right. Yes, right there with you. Right there with you.
27-24?
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely. We got close games. We both got really close games. I mean, yeah, and there's a lot of those. We have 1-point games. I have 3 1-point games. I mean, it's insane.
Dude, it's mind-boggling. Yeah, we're gonna. This is very tough. This is gonna be a tough season. I love it. Okay, well, let's give ourselves a little break here and go 4 o'clock. First 4 o'clock game. Patriots at 49ers.
49ers 24-10. They got to right the ship.
Boom. I'm going 49ers 30-13. Don't have a whole lot to add. I think even with all their injury issues, they're still a significantly better team than the Patriots.
Well, we're going to see now if the Patriots are a little better than we thought, or if they just were a little better the first couple of weeks and they're going to revert back to being what we think, which is a really, really bad team, one of the worst, if not the worst, in the entire league. So this will be a barometer for that. Even if they lose and but play them really, really close, that's still going to be a moral victory for them, and might make me think about them a little differently.
No doubt. And if let me tell you something, if they win this game on the road, I will be a convert to your theory about the middle of the pack NFL state.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, not a whole lot to say on that one, right? Other than and I did want to say, Niners to add to their injury issues, they lost my former Eagle, who I love, Javon Hargrave, the wonderful defensive tackle. He is out for the season.
Oh man.
Out for the season to add to what they're already dealing with. So that does not help anything. But they are good enough and talented enough that they should still beat this Patriots team. All that being said.
At home.
And yeah, absolutely. And coming off a bad loss, so if anybody should be pissed in this league, it should be them.
Yep.
All right. Okay, this game got way more interesting after last week. Commanders at Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels, he's the toast of the town. I mean, he's the darling of the league now. I mean, he's clearly the best young quarterback, the best rookie quarterback, no doubt about it.
No doubt.
And he looks great. And after all saying all that, I'm picking the Cardinals.
I love it. Love it. What's your score?
28-19. I have Arizona winning a good game. They're at home though. I still think Washington has a ways to go to get there. I think Daniels will play well. I think Arizona is just a little bit better. They have opened my eyes a little bit in terms of how good they actually are. Arizona is better than I thought. Um, they're actually, I wouldn't say a great team, but I think they're a good solid team, kind of like Seattle, where they're right there. They're fine, and at home they should beat this team. They should win this game.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And I like the comparison to Seattle because they both play a solid brand of football and are going to be competitive, I think, most weeks.
Yeah, they're not getting blown out because they're not a dumpster fire at all. They're good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and I love what you said about Jaden Daniels. I mean, this kid's blowing me away. I mean, he is absolutely on fire. He's just electric right now. All that being said, Cardinals 23-17. I still think they're too solid. I'm curious to see how much better the Commander, because listen, this guy being this good this early adds at least 3 to 5 wins to the total. Whatever total I gave them, I got to give them at least 3 more wins now because
I
this
think
guy's
we'd have them. We probably had them at 5, 6 wins.
yeah. So I'm putting them right in that 500 conversation now because this kid is playing so well. I can't believe it. I mean, I
That's
expected
another
him to be.
team right in the muck.
Yeah, it's right in the muck. Right in the muck. It's all muck, Jerry. All right. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Chiefs at Chargers.
Okay, Kansas City doing it in a lackluster, uninspiring ways. In my opinion, just like last year, you think it's a little better. I could see the weapons are a little better, but I don't think they're playing much better, to be honest. But I still basically I have them winning the way they've been winning all three of these games. Kind of not looking great, kind of touch and go here, and then at the end they pull it off because that seems to be what they do. I have them winning again, 21-18, 21-18 over the Chargers. But my upset pick is the Chargers
Ah, love it. All right. All right. Yeah.
because again I don't feel good about it, and I don't didn't feel good about most of the picks this week. Don't feel good about Tampa Bay. Yeah, you know, I don't feel good about any of them really.
Yeah. It really is a hodgepodge of weirdness. Um, Yeah, I am slightly higher on the Chiefs than you so far. I understand exactly where you're coming from. I just think it's a little better than last year, and I think it's going to get better a little quicker this year because they already dealt with the same BS last year. So hopefully they figure their way around it for them. Hopefully they figure their way around it a little quicker this time. But right now they're just playing okay, but they're still a much better team than the Chargers to me. I'm going 30-17 Chiefs.
Okay, even at home, you still think that they'll be able to do that?
At home because they're either facing Taylor Heineke or a high ankle sprain Justin Herbert.
That's true. I did not put that much into that, but yeah. But you never know. Taylor Heineke can play well for 1 week.
Oh, he's had his spurts. He has, yeah, absolutely. If he goes in and Heineke's it up for a couple quarters.
Heineke's it up. All right.
Oh, I love it. Awesome, awesome. Did I give you a score 30-17?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, man. Another one that is super tricky. The last of the 4 o'clockers. That is Browns
Oh,
at Raiders. By the way,
talk
before
about.
you go, Craig, sorry, I left a pregnant pause there. My bad. I wanted to say this, and I'm going to try and find an update while you're talking. Myles Garrett was heading for an MRI, the last I heard.
Yes.
So you go ahead and talk about the game. I'll see if I can get an update while you're talking.
Well, if there was ever a defensive caveat, he'd be the type of player to provide it.
Yeah, I agree.
If he doesn't play, I might change my pick because I have Cleveland 17-13. So I'm just down on Vegas in terms of the loss to Carolina last week and Andy Dalton. I got to see them play a little better. Cleveland, not that they're playing much better at all. But I still say that defense is for real. They're coming off a terrible loss on their own, to the Giants. So again, I don't know who to pick here. This is impossible. This is impossible.
Yep, toughie, man. Real tough.
I don't feel good about it. I have Cleveland winning 17-13. If Garrett doesn't play, I think I might switch the teams and keep the same score.
Right on. That's totally cool. I understand that 100%.
So that's my caveat.
Okay. All right. Well, and here's the Miles Garrett update, which doesn't really help us today, but it does say something. He had his MRI. MRI results are clear, but lingering leg pain worries the Browns.
So we don't know.
We don't know.
Is basically what it boils down
We
to.
don't know. So keep the caveat because there is nothing definitive right now.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Another really tough one to pick, man. I don't know what to make of the Raiders. They beat they're 1-2, two really bad losses, and a winner of the freaking Ravens. What do you make of that? You know?
I don't know.
What do you do with that information? It doesn't help me compute. So I'm just going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with the home team, and I'm going to go with the home team against a team that either doesn't have Miles Garrett or has a gimpy Miles Garrett. So, and it's going to be a very close Raiders 19-16.
Yeah, they're in the muck. They're in the lower end of the muck, but they're both right near each other.
Absolutely. I will say this. Deshaun Watson has looked a little better and a little better each week. He's still not great. He's not the old Deshaun Watson, but he's looking.
No, but that after the Giants fumbled the opening kickoff there, that touchdown pass to Cooper, the first play of the game,
Yeah,
that was a thing of beauty. That was really
that
good.
was gorgeous. And he's getting a little better and a little better. If that growth continues to even get to 80%
But
of
then,
what he used to be,
yeah, but then they go on to lose the game to the Giants
exactly. Exactly. So,
at home.
well, and his offensive line got him sacked 8 times, or he held onto the ball too long. I don't know if he's pulling Jalen Hurts stuff where he doesn't get rid of the ball quick enough, or if it's all on the line, or if it's somewhere in between. But whatever, 8 sacks is hard to overcome as any quarterback. So I don't know what to make of him. I don't know what to make of that team. I don't really like anything I've seen from him except their defense. And if Miles Garrett isn't playing, that defense is not as good. So I'm going to go with the Raiders in a coin flip.
Yep.
Did I give you the
Yep.
score 19-16?
Yes, you did.
Okay. All right, my man. And we are on to Sunday night and another candidate for game of the week. This is a heck of a game. Bills at Ravens.
Woo! Buffalo is playing probably the best in the league.
Yep, I agree.
Coming off an unbelievable win last week in terms of how much they scored. Cannot cannot say enough about that. Cannot say enough about how well Josh Allen is playing, how he's responding to what everybody was speculating early on in the year that he wasn't that it was going to be a tough year. He's responded and they're playing great. Just great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Baltimore is not.
No doubt. I mean, they played a great first 3 quarters, and then they collapsed.
Yeah, and other than a fumble, they should have lost that game. And then don't forget they lost to the Raiders. They were 0-2 coming in. I got Buffalo winning, and I got it 30-21. I think is just better right now, and I don't know what to make of Baltimore. Time might be time to reassess on them if they lose this game.
Right on, right on. And I totally understand where you're coming from. I'm going the other direction. Ravens 27-26. This feels like one of those games where the team that looks awesome goes in and just doesn't follow through. They're also
Like Tampa Bay last week.
Perfect. Perfect. Exactly. And the Bills have been incredible, but their biggest weakness, and their defense has been very good, but their biggest
Yeah.
weakness, especially given that they are not getting run on much because they've been in the lead for so many parts of so many of these games so far. Their run defense is middle of the pack, 16th overall, 118 yards a game on teams that aren't running the ball because they're behind. So it sets up well for the Ravens for another Derrick Henry game, another Lamar Jackson. I mean, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson combined for 230 plus yards against the Cowboys last week. And I think they can do something like that again this week against the Bills if they can keep the game close early. If they fall behind at all, even if they fall behind 10 points, forget it. Forget everything I just said. But if they can keep this game within 7 through 3 quarters, I like them, but it's a pick 'em, man. I was. Where's your line on this one? I had 2.5 Ravens.
2.5.
Okay, so yeah, I was surprised it wasn't a little closer given how the Bills started.
Yep.
So anyway, all right, that's gonna be a heck of a game. Can't wait to watch it. I'm glad that's a Sunday nighter. That's so cool.
Yep.
Um, and again, we have the weird 2 Monday night games.
That I don't like. I officially don't like it because they're on the same time,
Yeah, I hate
so
it.
you can't watch them both.
Hate
It
it.
kind of sucks.
And I can't even pull my move of DVRing both games and watching the other one later because they're showing every damn thing that happens. At one point, they were doing a split screen on the two games. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah, it drives me crazy. Don't like it. Not a fan. But we're going to talk about the games anyway. So, another one that's in this same realm of, Titans at Dolphins.
Yeah. Dolphins don't have a quarterback, but the Titans don't either.
Exactly. Exactly.
So both teams are just awful. Both teams are sputtering, out of control in a bad way. Um, the only thing I'm thinking is Tennessee has more weapons. Well, no, do they really though? No, they don't. Now that I think about it, no, they don't. I don't know. I went with Tennessee. This is a total coin flip. I just think Miami relies a little bit more on Tua, and it's hurting them more than uh, what's his face in Tennessee, who might not even play
Levis.
uh, Levis. If he plays, I'm picking Tennessee either way. There's no caveat here, but he might get pulled. He might not even play. I don't know. It's a disaster both ways for these guys, and I don't like any pick I make here again, and I don't like this game one bit.
Perfect, perfect. I second all that. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to throw a caveat on this one
Okay.
because I am a Huntley guy. I like Huntley. If and you I didn't know his nickname was Snoop. That makes me like him even more. So if Snoop Huntley is playing, I'm picking the I'm sorry. I'm picking the yeah. If Huntley's playing, I'm picking the Dolphins 18-14. If the other guy, who was it again? The guy that was he on the Jets last year? When is he one of the guys that sucked for the Jets?
No, isn't it Scott?
Tim
Oh,
Boyle.
Scott Thompson's out.
Tim Boyle. Didn't you say Tim Boyle?
Yeah, Boyle. Yeah,
Yeah, who was the guy that couldn't keep the job over Zach whatever for the Jets last year. Um,
Zach Wilson.
thank you. Um, so Huntley in Dolphins 18-14. No Huntley, Titans 18-14.
So if Huntley's in Miami, if it's Boyle, Tennessee.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
All right, got that all down. That's perfect.
Beautiful. And then in another great game this week, the Monday night game that I will be watching is the
Yes.
Seahawks at Lions, and we get to find out just how real the Seahawks are in this one. I think, right, or at least get some kind of indication. Maybe these early things. Who knows if it means any damn thing? I
Right.
said that.
This is the typical game that Seattle would win. It's kind of I think anybody reasonable is going to be leaning towards Detroit. They're a 4-point favorite. That means Vegas give them the 3 points for being at home, and they think they're a better team by one anyway. Um, so, I'm leaning Detroit 31-27 in a tight one, in a good one.
Hmm.
I definitely am looking forward to watching it, but gotta say, would not be surprised one bit if Seattle wins this game.
Yeah, I'm with you on all that. I'm with you on all that. And this was my I had three serious contenders for upset, and this was the third one. Obviously, I went with
Yeah,
what I went with, but this one I seriously considered. Um, Lions 27-23. It's just two good teams, and one of them's at home.
yeah. I mean, that's what it really boils down to.
Yeah, I don't have any better analysis on that this week because it's just too crazy this past week. But two good teams. Lions are at home. They're still butthurt from losing at home last week, 2 weeks ago now. So maybe they come out a little extra fired up. I don't know, but Lions.
I tell you, with the amount of like bad feelings I have picking these games, the amount of times I'm saying I don't feel good about it, this could be another 500
It
week.
really could.
I mean, what is? It's like how many games did we like say, and the first thing out of either one of our mouths is, ugh,
Yeah, totally, man. I mean, there
because we
were
can't figure it out.
there were only a handful of games that were relatively easy, and there was like four of them,
Yeah, and the rest are all that.
and
Ugh.
then 12 uhs. Now, I would like to try a new segment with you this week. I made 5 questions, and we can discuss them, but the basis is true or false. All right?
Okay, sounds good. I meant to mention that at the beginning that we were going to play a little game here at the end, but I forgot to. But either way, let's do it. I'm ready.
All
What do you
good.
got?
All good, and anybody that hung in there will be delighted. So, um, first question: true or false? Doug Peterson will be the head coach of the Jaguars next season.
False.
I agree, and I can't believe we're saying that.
Well, how could he?
Well, he could win, 10 out of the next 12 and take them to the playoffs.
Right, but do you think that's going to happen?
Hell no.
Right. There's no indication to that whatsoever. If they have a 5, 6, even possibly even like a 7-win season, 7 would be less likely, but he still probably would be gone. But 6 or 5, he's gone.
I completely agree, and it looks like that's where they're heading. I mean, we've seen weirder turnarounds. It could happen, but nothing so far indicates they're going to get much better. So I am with you. All right. Now, the phrasing of this question is important. Jaden Daniels is and will remain the best quarterback in this class.
Forever?
Yep.
Hmm. I'm going to say false just on the sheer number of people that are in this class that were first round picks.
That's reasonable, yeah.
That's not to say that he won't be, and not to say that he's probably my pick. If I was picking one of them to be the best, it would be him. But if you're going to say the best in this entire class, that I don't know. There's just it's almost like Tiger Woods versus the field when people would bet that.
You're right, totally,
I
totally.
would always take the field because you just got better chance of doing it.
Right. I totally understand. Totally
And that's
understand.
basically what this is Jaden Daniels versus the field, and I'll take the field just on that same basis. But, if I'm picking just one, it probably is him, sure. But not when you're going against the other one, because any of these other ones could pop up and be better, and then you're wrong on that one anyway. So I'll take the field, but I think Jaden Daniels is very, very good.
Yeah, it's a tough one, right? And it's like I kind of look at it the same way as you. I think I'm inclined to say yes, but given that we haven't even seen two of the people yet, one who McCarthy's out for the year, not going to play no matter what, and Drake May up in New England, um, and there's still a chance Caleb Williams is better than him in the long run too, or even Bo Picks, even though neither of us think that. But
Right.
it's possible. So yeah, I would have to say I would probably lean false too, but also saying what you said that I would take Jaden Daniels right now if I was picking number one.
Right, right. Yeah.
All right. Okay, here we go. The Bills are the best team in the AFC. True or false? Right now,
True.
I agree. I agree. I thought that was going to be a harder question before your thoughts about Kansas City came out. I love it, but I agree with you 100%. Okay, here's another one. Two more. Justin Fields, barring injury, will be the Steelers' quarterback the rest of the season.
Well, it better be true. There's no reason to change this right now.
Completely agree.
See, the thing is, we can't tell. We don't know for sure because Justin Fields could revert back to being a terrible quarterback in week, 7 and through week 11, and then all of a sudden Russell's in.
Exactly. That's why we make the big bucks to make these calls.
I'm going to say true because I don't. There's nothing that he's shown that is telling me that they need to make a change. But again, you ask me again in a month and a half, it might be completely different. But right now, no.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, it's cool to see because, like I've always said, I'm a Justin Fields truther, and he is coming through this year. He's getting a little better each week, getting a little better and a little better. He's got real coaching for the first time in his career. So it's nice to see. All right, last one. And this is a really interesting one. And I have a don't answer right away when I finish the question because I'm going to follow it up with a stat. Okay.
Okay.
The statement is the Bengals will make the playoffs. The stat is 6 out of 225 teams since in the Super Bowl era of the NFL have made the playoffs after an 0-3 start. 6 of 225 teams have made the playoffs in the NFL after an 0-3 start. The Bengals.
Are one of those six these Joe Burrow's Bengals?
I think you might be right. I'll try and find it. I know they did something when they were. I couldn't remember if it was 0-3 or 1-4. It was something that defied the odds for sure.
Because I got a feeling that one of those six is these Bengals.
I'll look it up. I don't know if I'll be able to
Um,
find that in a hurry, but I'll try.
it's all right. I would say I gotta go. That's false. They're not going to make it because of those ridiculous odds. But these are the guys that this is what they do. But they haven't done it yet this year, so we have to assume that they're not going to because it's so astronomical in terms of these odds. Um, so I'm going to say false. They will not make the playoffs. But if anybody's equipped to do it, who might have done it before, especially, it's these Bengals. But I'll my final answer is definitely false.
Right on. Yeah, I have to say false too, just because the numbers are overwhelming. I cannot find it. The pool gets narrowed even further when it's since 1990 only 4 teams have done it. Still might be those Burrow Bengals. I'm not sure, but I can't.
Which is why it's the only reason why I have a little bit of pause because I actually do. I don't know for sure, but I think that actually one of those six is the Bengals with Burrow.
Let me try one more way of searching this. Have the Bengals ever made the playoffs after starting 0-3? If that doesn't do it, I'll give up.
Yeah, I might. Hang on. You ever go to Pro Football Reference?
Ooh, I'm going to after this conversation.
Pro Football Reference. They have everything you could possibly want.
Oh, here are all the teams. Okay, it wasn't the Bengals. 81 Jets, 92 Chargers, who made the Super Bowl, by the way, then got dusted by Steve Young's Niners. Um, 95 Lions. No, that's the wrong year. I'm sorry. That was 95. I'm sorry. 95 Lions, 98 Bills, and 2018 Texans.
Very interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh, all right.
So
Well,
you're right though. The Bengals did something that might have been when they were like they made the playoffs as a 2-5 or a 1-4, or they did something, but it just wasn't this one. But yeah, so yeah, I'm
yeah,
saying false to that too. I do not think the Bengals will make the playoffs, just based on numbers.
yeah. I would have to agree.
Right on, right on. So there's our new true or false segment. I don't know if that'll be weekly or a one-off, but I thought that might be fun.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. For definitely give us some more talking points for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, we can do that again. Maybe I'll try to come up with something from on my end or whatever. Little games, little fun things. Always cool.
Yeah, I love it, man. We can fire some back and forth at each other. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. Alrighty. What's going on with Bring 'Em Out, man?
Well, Bring 'Em Out is still on hiatus. This might be extending a little further. Things are still busy as all get out at Sunnybrook, which is a good thing for Joel, and I'm happy for him. So I'm just waiting to get the word if he wants to add more to his schedule. In the meantime, go to YouTube, Soul Joel TV. Bring 'Em Out is the name of the pod. 86 episodes of some really fun and funny stuff.
Okay, cool, man. Cool. Make sure you guys check that out because that's always a good listen and a lot of fun. You turn that on and you're just gonna at least smile and most likely laugh your ass off.
I really appreciate that, my man. We have a lot of fun doing it. It's been a real blast. So thank you. I really appreciate the kind words.
Okay, so don't forget, guys, we do this every week, 2 shows a week, a preview and a review. We finished the other ones. Hopefully you already checked that one out. If not, make sure you check out our week 3 review. We went over every team, no matter who you like, no matter what team you root for. We will talk about them every single week, twice a week, because we will talk about what they did and what they're going to do. But that's going to do it. Don't forget about Perks Recap over on YouTube, music reactions. And Al, anything else to add?
That'll do it, my man. Another wild, weird week in the NFL, and let's see if we can get our picks back on track and just keep having some fun with this, man. I love doing this every week.
Oh, it's definitely still fun for sure. But I don't know if we're going to get our picks back because of the muck.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's in the muck.
The picks are in the muck, much like that scene in the Never-Ending Story when the kid can't get through the bog. You know,
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
we need a
I
trainer to
mean,
come help us. Let's go.
if if we had an under 500 week again, or about 500 week again, we're going to be close to being under 500 for the season.
Yeah, it's bonkers, man. And we'll have to look at you probably have it more organized than me, but at some point this season, we'll have to bust out our records from last year because we were way over. I mean, we were killing it, as we should, I think, without point spreads. This season, though, even without point spreads, so hard. Don't know who's going to win from game to game. It's wild.
Yeah, I've placed the least amount of bets I've ever placed in the last few years. This year than any other year in the last like 3 or 4, ever since it became legal. Uh, I have not placed any bets at all this season. I don't anticipate that I will anytime soon. And last year, I'm not a big better anyway, but last year I put a few bucks here and there,
Mm-hmm.
and and the year before the same thing. I don't feel confident about anybody. There's no way I can do this year.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel confident enough to bet that they'll like all the football games will happen or like I don't like some very obvious thing. I wouldn't even take the bet after the way these 3 weeks have gone. So it's mind boggling, man. It's absolutely mind boggling, and it's going to be fun to roll with the punches with it on this pod because we are documenting it as it goes.
Yep, we hold ourselves accountable
I love it. I love it. Yes, we do.
to our own detriment sometimes, but that's
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly. I love it.
Okay, everybody, thank you for joining us. And until next week, the week 4 review, I will see you later.